Good morning to you all. Thank you, Mr. Mayor and the board for hosting this event. Thank you all, parish presidents, for being here. I think we're lucky this year, preparing for hurricane season, to have Governor Edwards, who has that military experience, and I think that will help with the coordination when it comes time for, heaven forbid, a hurricane-type scenario. Also, I want to thank Colonel Clancy. Colonel Clancy and I just signed an agreement for a BUDMAC program that will provide, let's say, a speed bump to hurricanes for the entire region: Orleans, Jefferson, St. Charles, St. John, and we look forward to continuing on that project. I guess moving more to the more immediate matters, in Plaquemines Parish, we're going to do our best. Being that we're a coastal parish, we will be usually the first ones, especially from Oakville down to Venice and Braithwaite to Point Lahash, first ones that would have to evacuate. And so with that, simply like to get some information out there. We have a website, plaqueminsparish.com. We have a Facebook page, Plaquemines Parish Office of Homeland Security, and then a Twitter account, PLAQ-EOC. That's PLAQ-EOC. And our goal is to try to make decisions in some of the most coastal areas of our parish. Try to get that information about 80 hours out in front of before a hurricane. So about the time the hurricane enters into the Gulf or thereabouts. We just ask the citizens, one, as you've been told, Mr. Mayor, the Governor, have a plan ready, and then two, follow us on these accounts in your preferred social media source, so that if we do ask for voluntary evacuations, it will ease the speed and also the make your driving easier. So thank you.
The families out there, please have an emergency kit. Make sure you mitigate against potential threats to your property and to yourselves. Make sure that you're trimming trees, for example. Make sure that you have a safety kit. Make sure that you have a safe room identified, that your family knows what you're going to do in the event that there is a hurricane. Bottom line is, you need to have a game plan. And this analogy about a football game, it extends to this as well. Get a game plan. And in fact, you can visit getagameplan.org to help make your game plan up. And if and when we have a storm, and obviously we hope and pray that we do not, it is essential that people follow what they are told from the authorities. It's not time to freelance it at that point in time. It's not that time to second guess. But if you're told to evacuate, you need to evacuate. And so you need to make sure that you're prepared to do that. The simple fact of the matter is we've come a long way since past storms, but each storm brings its own set of unique challenges and risks that we're going to have to deal with. So I would just ask you all to be prepared for the worst and join me in praying for the best, that we have an uneventful hurricane season and that the state of Louisiana will continue to move forward. So with that, I want to thank you all for giving me the opportunity to be here, and I know there's a host of speakers down here. I want to apologize in advance. There's a little thing going on in Baton Rouge right now called the legislative session. And we wrap it up next week, and I really do need to get back for some discussions with legislative leaders. So I'm going to be excusing myself, but I do want to personally thank all the people up here for their leadership, for their service to the state of Louisiana. You all are, without exception, doing an excellent job. And I know that when it comes to preparing for, responding to disasters, we are much better off because of the dedication that you all showed to our state. Thank you very much. God bless you.
First I was going to apologize for the weather that we had to come indoors for this news conference. Last 9 years we've been outside, but I can tell you it's a little cooler being in here, so I don't think I'm going to apologize. This is all right. I'm Ken Graham with the National Weather Service. June 1st to November 30th, of course, it's hurricane season, and we're getting ready. You've heard the forecast already. You know, I'll go over the numbers, but then you've heard it already. It's the most important point. You know, 11 to 17 named storms, 2 to 4 of those could be major hurricanes. But I'm telling you, these numbers should change your plans. Not at all. Not at all. It doesn't matter if I come up here and say there's going to be 100 hurricanes, there's going to be one. If that one hits us, it's bad news. Okay, so whether it's the state, whether it's the nation, a parish, a city, or your individual plan for yourself, you plan every year as if you're going to get hit. You have to. It's absolutely critical. I did want to say this. We talk about plans, and I guess 24 years of doing this, it really, there's these 5 or 6 things in my head that always can go wrong, the fears that you have as a meteorologist. And one of them is we always talk about these long plans. We're not always going to give you that notice. The science isn't always there. So we work our 80-hour plans, we work our 180-hour plans, then you come back, you work it in 40 hours, and then you come back again, then you work the entire plan in 20 hours and see what happens. Okay, so whether it's an official plan for a government entity or your personal family plan, break that plan. It's critical. If you break that plan, you come back with a stronger plan afterwards. I've seen that a lot of times. A couple statistics. The number 1 cause of fatalities in tropical system is storm surge. Number 2, inland flooding, as we saw in Baton Rouge with the inland flooding. Okay, it's water. 3/4 of the fatalities in the tropical system is water. We have to be ready for that. The number 1 cause of fatalities indirectly from a hurricane is a heart attack. A lot of times it's the stress. It's not having a plan, not knowing where to go. You're driving without an endpoint, not having that plan. You stay back, the wind gets higher, the water gets higher. There's a lot of stress. I don't want to be in that. Okay, so that's the key. There's actually statistics and science about making sure you have that plan. We have a lot of new things as an agency we're excited about. We have the onset of tropical storm force winds map. I think it's going to help us with the H-hour. It's going to help us understand when our preparedness needs to be complete. We have that this year. We have some storm surge inundation mapping. And the biggest change in our agency for this year, the number 1 cause of fatalities is the storm surge. We've never had a direct warning for that. So Mayor, you said ignore the category. I can't describe how much, and the parish presidents are reiterating that too. The categories got nothing to do with it. That's just the wind speed. The wind's not killing people. It's the water. Okay, so you have to listen to the impacts in our briefings. Sometimes they're in your face, sometimes they're subtle, but they're in there. The impacts are very important. So that storm surge warning will be issued. A watch at 48 hours and a warning in 36 hours before the inundation. 3 foot or greater up your pant leg is when we'll pull that trigger on that storm surge warning. Okay, so that's really critical. And the big news, as I'm pulling out my phone, is the fact that the tornado warnings go out on your phone. And we heard in New Orleans East, everybody came up and said, I got the warning, I got the warning. It's just enough time. So we will be activated, phones will be activated as storm surge warning. So the public's going to get those warnings because it is the number 1 killer. So we're really trying hard to make sure people get that information and take us all to communicate that. So wrap it up. We're as ready as we can be at the weather service. We're there 24 hours a day serving. We so much value everybody in this row in the community because we can't do it. If we don't connect that science and communicate it correctly to get the decision that we need, something broke. And that's why our agency spends a lot of time on the road. We did 100 training sessions last year in the community to get everybody ready for hurricane season, and we're on the way to doing it today. We got 7 different things going on today. So we're ready for you, and whatever you need, please contact us. We're proud to say if you wake up at 2 a.m. worried about the weather, we've got 2 meteorologists back at the office in Slidell that are happy to take that call. If you're worried about it, give them a call. They'll be happy, especially on the midnight shift, they'll be happy to take the call. So anyway, we're as ready as we can. We're at weather.gov/New Orleans. Our website's full of a lot of information, so check it out. Thank you.